Hey, we're back. I'm Some Color Mage, and with me today are.
Hello, my name is Blue Highwind, and this is Final Fantasy 15, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Unfortunately.
Right. Yeah, sure.
This is Drake, you see, and I pay attention, so I knew which game it was.
Okay.
And I am very cold and also Hex Magica. It is like 20 degrees and I am dying.
Oh, it's
Comments?
70 degrees here.
Okay, so anyway.
It's actually 13. Shit.
So anyway, in the approximately 6 months since the last episode, I decided my last computer wasn't going to put up with the game any longer, got a new computer, and then held off recording this for several months. So that's where we are now. Last time we beat Titan.
Did we bow down over Dweller?
Okay,
No,
so
but
you
we
beat
got
Titan.
punched a lot.
Okay. So you beat Titan. Have you been to that town with the power plant yet?
Not. I mean, we've been there, but we haven't done much there.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't gotten into the power plant yet.
Yeah, we
So
haven't.
this might actually be something I have played of this game. What do you know?
Yeah, we haven't done the power plant yet. That's like around chapter 7, I think.
Will we find a Zapdos?
No.
Alright.
Why even bother then?
I made it up to the boat in this game. Then I stopped. I was like, that's enough of this.
So yes, this is the chapter where we've just beaten Titan, and then the Empire just dumps us in the middle of nowhere and steals our car.
Yeah, that sounds like about how Auden rolls.
Okay, maybe this is right around where I quit the game, because I drove right to the boat and then quit.
There's still a bit. This is still the first half of the game. Going to the boat starts the back half.
Oh, alright. So I made it 50%. That's a fail, but better than I thought I did.
I mean, 50% is a pass in, like, most school systems.
I mean, maybe if you're taking a pass-fail class. But I was one of the smart kids in school, at least that's what they told me, and a 50% would not have been any good. My parents would have talked to me about that.
I still can't believe it. I mean, shouldn't the car have turned by now? We should wait until
I think they were wrong, the schools, by calling me one of the smart kids, but yeah, you know, whatever.
the Empire has it.
I mean, have you seen how dumb people can be?
We could ask Arden to help us out.
I have, yeah.
The Imperial Chancellor. He represents a problem, not a solution. So
Okay.
where does that leave us?
So they were working with Arden. Why were they working with Arden? That didn't even make any sense while I was playing the game.
Yeah, the Imperials had locked down Titan, and Auden, I was like, oh, I can get you through. And he casually left out that, oh yeah, I'm one of the top guys of the Empire. Did I not mention that?
How do they not know that? He's like, everyone knew who he was in the movie.
I know.
Okay.
Well,
I understand it looked completely different in the movie. Maybe they didn't recognize him.
Okay, but you know,
He's
more
also
important is this-
obvious. He's also obviously evil.
Wait.
yeah, but our party are also idiots, so.
Okay, we're missing there now. At can you pet the dog? Can you pet the dog in Final Fantasy 15?
Gentiana.
I think you can later.
Okay. All right. Good. So
Yeah,
you-
well, you can have it give you a paw.
Okay.
Oh,
You
right.
can't you can't directly pet it, but you can play with it.
Goes hence in her kinsman,
Luna. Where is she now?
the eye of the storm.
Is she actually the dog, Gentiana?
No.
No.
She's,
Awaits their king.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
All right.
Let the walls of
Whatever.
stray not from the past.
Yeah, the dogs are just magic dogs.
She's a messenger.
Okay, but
All
wait,
dogs
but
are truly magical.
are you sure she's not the dog? Because the camera cut away, went back, and she was standing where the dog was standing.
We're going beyond.
She was standing next to the dog.
Okay, well, I couldn't see that from the camera angle. Oh, wait, no, he didn't pet the dog, okay.
Pathetic.
I know. Yesterday when I came home from work, a dog ran across the street and he tried to jump into my car.
Sure,
Who's-
let him in.
I didn't want him in my car, unfortunately. His owner was there. I couldn't steal him. He was very fluffy. I wanted to.
All three of those replies are utterly stupid, so I just said, yeah, I got it.
But yeah, this game has
What about this game isn't stupid, though?
dialogue options, but I don't think they ever.
You won't have to wait much longer.
They give you like different XP and AP and that, but that's about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can't take
there's-
FIFA or anything.
Yeah, there's like one time where it's really important, and that is in the ending of one of the DLC episodes.
Lucius gets to use
Here we are at the flashbacks from Kingdom Hearts 3.
We don't talk about that game.
I don't.
It's a good game.
Yeah.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
I just like that this is like a different art style than the.
calling of a crystal and keeping the crystal safe until that day.
Well, that's how you can tell it's a flashback to Kingdom Hearts 3 because the shades have changed.
Anointed by
I think this is full motion video, and what we saw before was in engine too. That's what makes it look different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is definitely not in engine.
Okay.
Yeah, it does look slightly higher quality than the game itself, and it's also kind of weird because there are points where they just, play scenes from things that the proper CG team did. So there's sort of like three quality levels throughout the game that it just kind of switches between. And
It's
it's
better than how Final Fantasy VII did it, I guess.
One thing I liked about the PS1 games is that they sort of let you walk through some FMVs. Like 9 did it very well.
7 did a lot of it too.
Yeah.
Like you'd be falling off a thing and you could run away briefly.
Of course, that stuff only really looked decent in the PS1 version because in the older ports they forget to upscale assets properly.
Head into the store.
Yeah.
That's a shame. Oh, are you over
else?
leveled? Because I don't think I ever hit level 3 in this game.
Maybe. Also, since last episode, they added the Assassin's Creed outfit.
Oh god.
All right. You know what? I like it. It's fun. It shows that you're the boss. Okay. If you're the leader, you need to have slightly different clothes than the guys around you.
Yeah.
This is
Oh.
not a democracy.
Black,
You are the king. Okay. Or I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess
Also,
you're the king of just 3 guys, but you are the king.
yeah.
You
Also,
are the
because
chancellor
of all this bullshit with changing PCs and stuff, I lost all the Twitch bonuses, which means my birds reverted to normal.
Oh no.
Why
It will
even
stay
live?
normal.
The bird is named Oh Dear God.
Yes.
Well, did you see the Twitch bird?
No.
Also, why is the text box this long?
Who knows?
Totally normal. No?
That didn't fit either.
Okay. Oh, you don't have that much space.
Yeah.
Oh, it gives you like a mile of space. Oh, alright. Fine. You're playing the PC version, I guess?
Yeah.
Alright.
Calm down.
Now, did you
Also,
get
I
the,
thought that was my chocobo, but no, that was actually just an animation where you feed that bird.
Okay, that's nice. Did you get the 200 gig version of Final Fantasy 15?
Oh. God, no.
Okay.
SCM's
200
internet is bad. Like,
Okay.
real bad.
Yeah, just the was a base download. Took me several days.
Wow, that makes me sad, actually.
Like, yeah, welcome to Australia, where internet speeds are made up and nothing matters.
Yeah,
I mean, they're not
how are
good
you
at-
even connected at that point?
Yeah, they're not good in America either, but I happen to live in a civilized part of it.
Relatively
Yeah.
speaking. Well, civilized is really relative, you know.
I mean, the whole country is barbaric at this point, but you know, some parts are better than others.
Okay, yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah. We have a White Castle nearby. That's the sign of true civilization.
I mean, return to feudalism when, right?
Hey, you know, Uber's halfway there.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's really the plot of this game, is returning to feudalism, right? Or something?
Something like.
Kind of.
Really, this whole game is just monarchist propaganda.
Yeah.
I want to click according to episode out and you're complete.
What are you doing now? Oh, you gotta
yeah,
get the 3 things to get
yeah,
Ramuh,
we've
and then...
yeah, we've got to touch the 3 Ramuh rocks.
Okay.
You have to touch Ramuh's rocks. That's what he likes. Luna knows that.
Okay. Do you do side quests? Do you put potatoes for that guy? I remember that being a high point of this game.
We'll get back to the countless side quests eventually.
Oh, alright. So these guys don't stand a chance if they're like 20 levels below you.
Yeah, we're kind of over-leveled and probably will be until just about the point where I start doing side quests
What is
again.
happening in the fight here?
Yeah, what is going on? I don't remember this at all.
Is this wait mode?
Yeah, if you don't do any inputs, time stops and you can scan enemies.
Oh, I never used it.
I didn't know that that was an option at all.
I thought gameplay was just hold the circle button until they stop twitching.
And that's essentially it, but you can equip the right weapon to make it go faster.
So was I just playing this game all wrong?
I mean,
I'm not sure if there's a right way to play this game.
Playing it wrong, so.
I didn't realize we were doing the Final Fantasy 13 LP already.
Oh no, there's a right way to play Final Fantasy 13, it's just as it never tells you.
You gotta make sure the numbers are high. It's just spinning dishes. That's what Final Fantasy 13 is. Gotta keep all the plates spinning.
Easy now.
Anyway, so the Empire just leaves that airship over there. Why don't you take it?
I don't think any of us know how to fly.
Okay, but I mean, your
But
car.
that's coward's words.
I mean,
This isn't a coward stream.
if you've seen how the car controls, I think that confirms no one knows how to fly.
Okay, so
Do they ever patch out getting a game over when you crash the airship?
No.
Because that was that was one of the worst.
Nice run.
This game has problems, but I don't know how anyone could think that was a good idea.
All of the alternate methods of the regalia have a way to get an instant game over. Like
Oh yeah, they added a monster truck.
Yeah, the plane mode, you get a game over if you hit anything too hard, and the monster truck, you get a game over if you drive into that giant ravine.
Messenger. The princess read of our kind.
Noctis is in a wheelchair?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was a kid.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Lady Lunafreya.
It has been a while.
yeah, and then there's something like he was getting better due to powers of like the Oracle and stuff, and then the Empire invaded, and
The fate of our world may
Wow.
and then he still got better, but
I didn't realize that Gentiana had eyes. I thought she was like Brock.
meets the king. Hurry hence to the eye of the storm. Foreign hordes fear the true king's ascension.
That's not cool, calling them foreign hordes, alright?
What must come?
yeah, that's kind of rude.
Yeah. Alright. We don't need any... What's the name of the kingdom they're from?
Lucis.
Lucis? Alright, we don't need any Lucius, supremacy, alright? Lucian supremacy, that's just wrong, alright? We need to get over that kind of thing. That's just bad for everybody.
Yeah, who the hell goes around giving people racist headaches?
Exactly.
I
Donald
mean,
Trump.
Aside from him.
Yeah, let's move on. I figure.
Yeah, I should. Let's not bring him up, but I'm sorry that joke where I couldn't pass it up.
Shit. Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello?
Is everyone still here?
Yes.
yes.
Okay. All right. Did I disconnect for a second or what?
I don't think you
No.
did.
No clue.
Huh, that was weird. I like heard the disconnect noise and everyone stopped talking for a second.
Maybe it's all in your head. Maybe you're like disconnected from this reality for a single moment.
I've suspected for years that the wiki might entirely be in my head, and all of you are just like personas I create when I'm lonely.
Yeah, but do I have access to Maziodyne?
I don't know what that means, so I guess I didn't create you then. Is that a Shin Megami Tensei spell?
Yes.
Oh, all right, now I get it. All right. So let me say one thing about Final Fantasy 15. You look at this screenshot, and this looks awful. Like, there's nothing here. It's just cloudy. It's just empty. Why is there so much empty in this game?
You're in the middle of the countryside.
But what's the point
Yeah, but-
of all this stuff here?
Yeah, that's the thing. Most of the game is you just wandering around the countryside. There's nothing here for a lot of the game. The plot is so nothing for most of the time.
I still can't get over spending 10 years on this.
They didn't really they announced it way too early.
Yeah, I don't think they started until like 2012.
They also probably should have just let Nomura do what he fucking wanted instead of assign 15 different games to him.
Yes,
Yeah.
musical! Musical.
Kingdom Hearts 3, Future is... Just give us Kingdom Hearts Future of them.
Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yeah.
After 3, I don't know if I have it in me to go back to Kingdom Hearts. That game burned me.
We will need to
You're
discuss
wrong,
that.
but okay.
Yeah.
Nah. That Kingdom Hearts 3, that's a game that was not 10 years in the making.
There was more to that game than there is to this one, I think.
Nah, complete
Yeah.
opposite. Like, there was a more to a Birth by Sleep is a PSP game. It had more going for it than Final Fantasy Kingdom Hearts 3 did.
Okay, we should move on before I strangle you in your sleep.
Yeah,
It's okay, but let's agree I'm right.
Yeah. I'm imagining several deaths for you at this point.
Yeah,
yeah.
I keep my mouth shut with all you guys are saying about 15.
Alright. Oh, you actually like the game?
It's got problems, absolutely, but I think it's more good than bad. Like, it's just the sum of its parts is less than the individual parts, you know?
It is...
So the anti-assault.
Yeah, I don't get mad about Final Fantasy 15, I guess. I mean, I have to on the internet to keep this entertaining, but, you know.
I mean, if we're not getting mad, I've been doing on the internet.
You can check my browser history for that one, but I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, not really. I don't think anybody...
I
Look at mine.
like the game. I mostly just dislike the open world. It doesn't feel worth it in any sense of the term.
That's fair. Like, it is a big open world, but, you know, there isn't that much to do with it. Going places for side quests.
Yeah, and it's like the largest portion of the game.
The thing with, like, a lot of games that do open world is, like, yeah, sure, they've got this...
I'm sorry, con quotations? Conflagrations? Whatever that
Yeah, when you run around with your chocobo enough, it rewards you with an incredibly shit pun.
Chocobo cannot swim? Oh, Chocobo can swim.
Yeah, chocobos can swim. They're just really slow.
Okay, these aren't blue Chocobos, though, so it seems weird that they're able to go in the water.
You really owe her big time, Noct.
Maybe that's why they're so slow.
Yeah. Alright, so we're halfway there.
Like, I love how there's like a watery version of it when they're swimming.
Yeah, the theme is dynamic and changes based on the speed you're moving at. So when you're in water, it's guaranteed to play the slowest version because you can barely move at all.
So it moves based on how fast you're going.
So where do we have to go for a crazy chocobo to kick in?
To the realm of the
Going above the
modders.
speed of light.
Yeah.
Only part of 13.2 worth remembering.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that game now. Okay.
I try not to.
Yeah.
My doctor says it's not healthy for my heart.
Mm. So, alright, it says 5 days left. How fast does time move in this game again?
You can see the clock above the just above that indicator.
Praise Todd Howard.
It gives you a decent amount of time per day, but as you get stronger, it doesn't matter anyway because you can just carve your way through everything at that point once you're higher level enough.
CM, you're not doing the speedrunner tassing. If you get stuck, it'll probably boost infinitely, right?
If I could figure out how to do that, I would.
50 half presses.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure. I'm sure there has to be a way for you to break through geometry in this game, considering how weird it is.
Oh, there's definitely got to be some out of bound glitch somewhere.
Yeah. You probably just fall through the ground and just die after that, I suspect.
Yeah, this seems like the kind of game that would just have a kill for.
Oh, God! Alright, you're fine.
Well, I think we just killed someone. That definitely crashed.
My leg flashed before my eyes.
I'm a little bit sad.
The game. You can just run in front of people driving their cars and they'll screech to a halt.
I'm a little bit sad that you don't just get hit and go to a Grand Theft Auto style wasted screen.
Yeah.
Imagine if someone modded this game so you can mug people and take their cars.
I imagine that was the idea at some point, but
Grand Theft Auto Insomnia.
was that always the name of that city, by the way, Insomnia? Wasn't it named something else for 10 years and they changed the name?
I don't remember that city having a name before Insomnia.
Yeah, I don't either.
Let me go and check the wiki history, I'll find out. I feel like we called it something different at the time. God damn it, Wiki. How do I find the history anymore? Oh, there it is. I have no idea how to use the Wiki since they changed us over to this thing. I know it's been years, but still.
We're but dinosaurs.
Yeah. And even before the change, I mainly navigated by just typing in URLs, so...
No. When we created the page in 2015, it was called Insomnia, and always was. I just feel like it was called something else. Huh? I don't know. Oh no, not a cave. I hate the freaking cave.
Yeah, this is the dungeon from the episode The Sky demo.
Oh. I almost played that demo at a New York Comic-Con. But it was impossible to get into. So.
Should be able
The the demo was okay. I kind of preferred its weapon system to what we have now.
Dynamic loading screen. Cleverly hidden.
Man, I love these load-bearing walls so much.
Like, I always thought, like, what would happen in one of these if they just got stuck all of a sudden? Like, you're edging the wall and Noctis is stuck. Like, do they have a plan if that happened?
Their plan is to open the menu and fast travel back to the car.
Yeah. You know, if you played God of War from last year, pretty much the whole game is just you going through walls like that to hide load screens.
So here's the main gimmick of the dungeon, imp jump scares.
I think that's the main gimmick of most of the dungeons.
Yes.
I remember that happening a lot.
I think the only time I ever died in this game was in the dungeons because I just couldn't figure out what was going on.
Yeah, pretty much every cave dungeon is something's going to jump scare you.
Death blow.
Also, these fights take longer than they should because not just because the best weapon for taking care of them is the knives, but not knives animation basically has him just flailing around everywhere, and the imps are too short to hit with the wild flailings half of the time.
Oh, wait, there's Sphere Grid.
That's why you like play Dragon's Dogma, a game with good knives.
And the knives I've got on are incredibly good knives. It's just that Noctis doesn't know how to stab people.
Are they the Japanese knives that can cut through shoes and stuff?
They're the assassin daggers.
You've never seen the infomercials for the knives that could cut through shoes?
They're folded over 100 times.
1,000 times. They're excellent for pairing. Which I assume means cutting through pairs. I'm not sure what pairing means, actually.
I actually don't know, like... I used to know, now I don't.
I just use the biggest knife I can and go and hit things really hard. That's how I cook.
I mean, that's a pretty good way to kill people.
Yeah, how did you know I was cooking people?
Who knows?
So you could have come in through that entrance instead of...
Goody said it.
There we go.
If nothing else, you have to give Square Enix credit for embracing the memes in this game. They went all the way with embracing that.
One thing I've noticed with Japanese games lately is like a big obsession with food. Like this game and Breath of the Wild, it's just like
Kingdom
they put like a year of work into just making the food happen. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3. Not that I ever used.
I remember when I played Kingdom Hearts 3 and I was playing it and I unlocked the food subquest and I got the camera and it's like, okay, so no more just gonna keep ripping off Final Fantasy 15 stuff. And then I got to the Toy Story world and well they.
Oh yeah, of course.
And
a better version of this game that's coming out soon.
I'm sure Nomura will have it to us in 2030.
Nomura had
keep it to a schedule.
Nomura had previously said that he would put into Kingdom Hearts 3 anything that he couldn't put into Versus, and since Versus never came out,
he really said that?
Yeah, it was a while back.
That actually explains a lot.
Like a lot of the stupidest stories from Square Enix can be traced back to something that was in an interview with Nomura. Even if he's not the guy who said it.
Nomura is like the one guy at Square Enix that's ever like willing to talk to the media and say anything. He's like the one person that seems like a real person. Like, you never hear that from Motomo Toriyama.
But like,
I'm glad he doesn't do interviews. I really don't want to hear anything he has to say.
like there was that one interview about Kingdom Hearts Code, like, oh, where the idea from the game came from, and Nomura couldn't remember, and then Tabata just pipes up, oh, you were drunk and designed the game in one night.
That explains a lot about Conan, actually.
Did he make the whole game in one night? That would explain a lot.
I think it was just a design document, but yes, what happened was that Nomura was drunk and dictated it to Tabata in one night.
No, it's like,
Isn't that something that has happened multiple times?
Probably.
Like I'm just thinking the game we're playing now. So it's like Tabata has a history of cleaning up Nomura's incoherent ramblings into something presentable.
No, I'm just imagining that, like, Nomura wakes up and he's like, he got really wasted the night before. Like, the house is a total mess. He was sleeping on the porch outside for some reason. And then he walks in and he's like, what the hell happened last night? And then there's a DS cartridge and he's like, fuck, I made a game? How did this happen? I don't remember any of it. Oh, what? What?
Yeah, just bombs prefer to be hit with swords instead of guns.
Okay.
I mean, who doesn't like hitting stuff with swords? If you don't like hitting stuff with swords, you're objectively a wrong human being. And you will be first against the wall.
Also, bombs kind of suck.
Hey, yeah, I mean, that's just gaming. Wow, how are you getting your ass kicked this badly? I thought you were over-leveled.
Equipment actually does matter a lot more for defense than leveling.
This would be rocking if you could actually, like, dodge their attacks. You know?
Yeah.
Like an action game. But, yeah.
Like when you actually look at like how 15th Combat has like combo attacks and link attacks, and like they tried to give it depth, but then you get into a fight and it's like it's just button mashing, and you can't keep track of different enemies and that, and you just hold the attack button until things die.
And you don't even get to button mash, you have to hold the button down.
Yeah.
It's not even that level of satisfaction.
Like, if there's one thing I'll give Kingdom Hearts 3, it's at least you could keep track of what was going on in the combat there with all the different enemies and party members.
No, take a photo.
Also,
Yes,
Kingdom Hearts 3 equivalent of the armor share was much more fun.
The ultimate weapon in 3 is like some of the most dumbass fun I've had in a video game.
The ultimate weapon in Kingdom Hearts 3 is basically peak Nomura definitely not being bitter about this game.
Yeah. I love the videos with like people like owning the apparent super boss of 3 with the ultimate weapon and just being purposefully over stylish and fun and like stopping. The joke I love is that, well, no, Sora is the super boss of this game, and this guy's trying to fight, and you know, it doesn't go very well, just like when you fought the Lingering Will. You know, if that was the intent, I can get behind that.
With all the Keyblade transformation and stuff, you basically are the Lingering Will at that point.
You really are.
That was sneaky of them. They attacked during the loading transition screen.
Just like Diablo I'm on.
I mean, no one ever did that in God of War last year. That's something they should have done.
I still have no idea on whether that game is actually good or not.
That game is pretty great, actually. I have like deep issues with the story and some of the characters, but like in terms of just an action adventure game, that thing's pretty great.
I got the original God of War collection, but I couldn't get into it. But that thing didn't. So I think the Skyrim-esque Norse stuff is kind of played out at this point.
Like, the main game doesn't really push you that far, but if you do the super bosses, like, you really get pushed to the ragged edge, and it's pretty damn awesome.
Okay, cool. Because, like, I played the first 3 God of Wars, and they're not good games, but they're fun.
They are okay. Those ones, those are okay. That I think is a pretty damn good game, the new one.
Okay.
I'm finally starting to get the hang of this.
Yeah, the first three are not good, but they're fun.
I'm wondering if they're gonna take it and like actually like try and do the storyline they said they wanted to end the God of War series on with the other two heroes, or like if that's just gonna be like, well, they like the Norse setting from the idea.
They're gonna stick with the Norse setting. I won't spoil the ending, but they have a lot left to do with Norse stuff.
Well,
But
how I heard that like they want the ending to go is they would have like Kratos would take part in Norse stuff and they would have another hero there, and then they'd go to Egypt and they deal with the Egypt pantheon and have another hero.
So ancient mythology.
They show off that there's like a mural or something that shows that there are Egyptian gods and there's Japanese gods, but they still have a lot left to do with the Norse gods.
But there's so many mythological pantheons. You could keep like franchise going for decades.
I don't know if they're going to be able to keep it going like once they have to dig deep into like the Slavic pantheon or something.
Well, no. Once you do the Japanese pantheon, you do the Chinese pantheon, and then you do the Final Fantasy pantheon, which will keep them going for a while. You know, we'll have God of Fantasy.
Then Cthulhu.
Yeah, let's have God of Cthulhu, or Call of War, whatever you want to call it.
Kratos appearing in 19th century New England.
I would completely be down for a game where Kratos fights Cthulhu.
He does fight a
That
tentacle
just
guy several times.
That just completely defeats the purpose of like cosmic horror, though.
You're saying that God of War doesn't defeat the purpose of Greek mythology in like a billion different ways?
I mean, at least plays into the.
Oh, by the way, this is the fight where I actually got killed. It was the Mind Flayers. I remember that.
Yeah. So in the game itself, Prompto about 5 minutes ago got kidnapped by monsters, and now we're in this big cavernous room, and the intent is to just warp around everywhere and just stab everything. You know how this game usually works, but unlike most dungeons, this one actually gives you the room to do it.
Wait, you have the gay bulge?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, equip that. We can do some Fate Stay Night here.
Wait, David Bowie is a weapon? I'm sorry, I had to do that. But, well, I lied. I'm not sorry.
You're kicking the ass out of that thing. This kind of looks silly and fun. Oh, or not.
Yeah, Mind Flayers still kind of suck, but if you can knock them down, that will take care of them pretty quickly, especially if you get the chain attack thing going on them.
I'm just laughing now because in Final Fantasy Record Keeper, the cross-link there is Noctis's Arcane Soul Break, and it like shows him like calling each of the... It deals 3 hits, it shows him calling the other guys, and like 16-bit Final Fantasy 6 sprites, calling the other 3 into attack, and then they all pose and take a picture as the enemy explodes. Again, in Final Fantasy 6 style sprites, all this happens.
Why do you keep falling off the minimap? Like, you've ended up in the black spaces between where you shouldn't be able to go on the minimap.
Warp bullshit.
Okay.
I mean,
I remember a lot of times in these games, like trying to like target an enemy for warp, so I can target 50 feet away that I'm not even fighting right now, and suddenly you warp over there, and okay, we're fighting these guys now.
It's a big issue in Dissidia NT, actually.
Also, yeah, the design of the...
Dissidia NT just bad.
Dissidia NT, from what I played of it, was just bad.
I actually like, I thought like, you know, maybe I'll give it a second shot. So like a couple of weeks ago, I fired it up and tried, like I played a couple AI matches just to get a feel for it again. I'm like, okay, let's try a fight against some humans. Sign up for PlayStation Plus. Okay, fuck you, no.
Well, that's not Dissidia NT's fault. That's PlayStation's fault.
Well, I don't care whose fault it is. Fuck you.
You generally should have PS Plus anyway.
Yeah, you could have gotten What Remains of Edith Finch this month for free. A A game you should have bought like 2 years ago, because that game is great.
What game is it?
What Remains of Edith Finch?
Never heard of it.
I mean, that's the problem, isn't it?
Well, the problem is I shouldn't have to pay a monthly subscription to fight a fighting game online.
That's just how consoles are now.
Yeah.
There's no dancing around that. All of them have it, even Nintendo now.
Everything okay? Come on, stay with me.
Yeah, I don't see a need for it now, though. Like, I like Dissidia, but NT ain't worth it. The original Dissidia over an NT style graphics, then I'd buy.
Yeah.
Just do that anyway.
Yeah, it turns out the Cydia actually loses a lot when you get rid of most of the worthwhile customization options.
And turn it into a team-based game for some reason.
I mean, turning stuff into team-based games is in general, but...
I mean, I'm fine with
kinds of games, but
I'm fine with 3 vs 3 combat, but when I've literally only got 1 HP attack to work with, how the fuck is that any good for the game? You've basically got to wait for someone else to basically trap your opponents, because if you've only got 1 attack to pull off, everyone's going to learn how to block or dodge that really quickly.
yeah, that's kind of my memory of it. Like, you basically had to hit somebody from behind where they couldn't see you. That's like the only way you could hit anybody.
I remember my experience is like I ended up getting the one fight. I ended up getting double team by these 2 guys and just punched and kicked into the wall, and I'm just like, not allowed. I'm thinking, okay, I don't think my other 2 teammates are doing the same thing to their 3rd guy. I don't think they're gonna go help him, and I don't think they're gonna come help me. So I'm just gonna watch myself get the crap kicked down to me here.
There's a long periods where you just get comboed and can't feel anything at all. Anyway, we never did a FFWiki podcast episode into City NT, I think, because that one somehow or another got deleted, and I didn't feel like doing it again. Consider those last 10 minutes of discussion a replacement for it, Space Monkeys.
To be fair,
I was gonna mention I was gonna like years ago I was gonna do a let's play of the City of 12, and then suddenly my computer crapped out or something, and I lost all the footage I recorded. I'm like, okay, I'm not replaying this thing. Like, I think I had played through all of the game and recorded most of it. I'm like, okay, I'm not replaying this, so you guys can find something else. I think Hex, you said Final Fantasy V after that.
Yeah, probably.
We got that one video in the Final Fantasy VIII Let's Play of you playing Dissidia.
And we got the one video of me playing Philly Fantasy VI, which we should totally let's play in full, but no one will go for that.
I'm not going for that.
I took the best Final Fantasy game balance, and I added ponies. What is the problem here?
If you make Final Fantasy 15 into Philly Fantasy 15, I will play that game.
Okay. You asked for... Okay, I'm going to hold you to that. It's on tape.
I think this game would be greatly improved if everybody was ponies.
There probably are pony mods for it of some sort. Let's check.
Okay, so anyway, that was the boss arena for this dungeon. We're just going to ignore that for a second and go down this path, which has another one of these fucking doors.
It's a door.
Ah, yes.
The door is locked.
The key question is, where do we look?
I would hit Ignis if I were his friend, and he said that.
I'll just throw him off a cliff. Let him die. Let him perish.
Jesus Christ.
There's nobody else in this cave. It's the perfect crime.
No, but he's the guy that cooks. What are you going to do? You're going to have to learn how to cook now?
Ignis is the best character. Don't rag on.
Oh, hey, it's...
Something not? Don't ask me. Do it yourself.
Isn't this the thing that killed Noctis's mother?
Huh, there are no My Little Pony hacks for Final Fantasy 15. That's actually surprising. People have hacked Power Rangers into Final Fantasy 15.
Just goes to show you how popular ponies are these days.
We've hacked ponies and everything else. We've got Civilization ponies. I think someone did StarCraft ponies. We've got our own fan MMO, such as though it's still development.
Anyway, this is Naga, a boss of some sort, I suppose.
Yeah, it turns us into frogs.
Bad dog.
Really? Oh, that's awesome! And you still have your like a tiny frog-sized flashlight.
Well, yeah. How are you gonna see where you hop? Like, I'm gonna turn you into frogs and try and eat you, but I'm not gonna take away your flashlight. I'm not mean.
Can't tell if the game's lagging to hell or if this is just that much effect. I think it's lagging.
Both.
Yeah.
Both. This is a better device for recording, but it still can't take the full brunt of the high particle moments.
So if you'd gotten the 180 gig version of this game, we'd be seeing every single one of those particles in full 60, right?
Probably.
Just a sec.
What's that noise?
That was it dying.
Oh, alright. Thought somebody was like smoking up.
Yeah.
Somebody got a jewel over here?
What's she talking about? It's me. Something about her baby. Yeah. If it's
Baby.
her, I ain't going near it.
I always like the fan theory that was supposed to be Prompto's mother, but then like I think the director said no, it's not, and I was like, okay, well that makes this makes no sense at all then. Like, why not go with that?
You never see her baby?
No, like the theory was that she was Prompto's mother, that because they were supposed to hint that she's turned into a demon and she recognizes Prompto as her son, but then like the director like disproved that. So that's
I mean,
like,
there's
well, why
no
did she recognize him?
There's no shortage of like boss fights with no reason in the Final Fantasy series.
Yeah.
It's turned into a werewolf! Oh, I guess not.
Well, the peak of stupid Final Fantasy 15 lore will always be that one guy who wrote tons of theory crafting about Ifrit and such, and then when the game added an actual backstory for Ifrit, he got really mad.
So now that we have the power of the Bulgarian, we can summon Eric Cartman, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, we got a
The
Cartman's
full-
favorite, the Mulk of the Bulgarian.
Bulgarian? Oh, hello, Kratos. Or, bye, Kratos. Actually, there is a giant guy in the new God of War that looks a lot like that thing.
Hey, it stopped raining.
Forget what his name was. He's a Norse god of some sort.
Up there, it's huge.
It's huge! It's so big!
Oh, that's Ramuh's crotch.
And here's Cindy here calling us to tell us how big it was.
Cindy is never playable, right?
No,
No.
When is episode Cindy coming out?
never. Square Enix decided Final Fantasy 15 when it's not making us enough money, so we're gonna fire the director as a scapegoat.
Who was that?
Okay.
Cindy.
So, Final Fantasy 16 then.
Yeah, I can. I just did.
I saw in an article someone said they should let Toriyama direct 16. I'm like, no,
No.
please, no.
Oh,
No.
well, that reminds me. The Square Enix E3 show is in probably like exactly a month when this video goes up. Let it be known now, I predict that nothing good will come out of that show. At least nothing good Final Fantasy wise.
Yeah.
Nothing good
I
ever
fear
comes
they'll
out of
announce Final
Square.
Fantasy 16. Because if they, like, I am afraid they will show it. Because we're not gonna see anything substantial for it for at least another 4 years.
I don't even know if they're making a Final Fantasy 16. Like, there's
Oh, like,
been
well,
no
like-
Yeah,
indication.
I'm expecting like absolutely no word from 7 Remake, absolutely no new games, maybe an ad for
Oh.
Shadowbringers, and that's it.
Oh, it's over.
Oh.
And yeah, that's it. There was no good splitting point there, and they wanted to leave getting Ramuh and getting the Kai to be the two different videos. So that's where we're stopping for now.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, well,
Okay.
bye, Space Monkeys. I guess that's it.
That happened.
Goodbye.
I'm leaving too.